In this short video, I'll show you how to use Izotope Neutron's multi-band gate to clean up a drum sample so it fits perfectly in the mix. So if you want to improve the clarity of your music, stick around. I'm Thales, pop music producer, and yesterday I was mixing one of my songs, but there was a strange noise on the kick drum sample. And the thing is, I really like this kick drum sample, and I didn't want to replace it. It was tuned to the key of the song, it had a nice low end and a nice thump, but there was a sustained high frequency that simply didn't fit the mix. It sounded like the kick was layered with the hi-hat sound and it had some reverb. It was clashing with my own hi-hat and percussion, so the whole mix just lost clarity. This is what the sample sounded like before I fixed it. When you hear it isolated, it doesn't sound like it would be a problem, but in context, with the rest of the drums and instruments, it wasn't going to work. I had to deal with it. Before I show you how to fix this kind of problem, in case you have drum samples that you need to clean up, this is the final result. And the right tool to fix this problem is a multi-band gate, like the one included in Izotope Neutron 3. This one is quickly becoming my favorite plugin, and this video isn't sponsored or anything, but I highly recommend you check their website for some great mixing tools. I'll add the link to the description below. In case you're wondering which version this is, I got the advanced version that comes with their music production bundle. With this multi-band gate, I could isolate the sustained part of the problematic frequencies and cut it entirely while preserving the transient part, which is super important on a kick drum. First, I used the solo button to figure out the exact frequencies where the layered hi-hat sounds start and made the gate affect just that band. In this case, I made the separation at around 2.1 kHz. I like how this oscilloscope allows me to quickly visualize the waveform and position the threshold line exactly below the peak. Now, these parameters work just like any gate. The ratio is how much gain reduction will be applied when the gate closes. And I left the attack at 0 so the gate opens fast and we don't miss the transient. If I increase the attack, the transient will be gone too, and that would ruin the kick. And the release control helps us fine-tune the speed at which the gate goes from open to fully closed. This is a fast release with the purpose of keeping the transient only. The lower band remains unaffected. The gate is not acting on this range. Once again, here's the final result. If I tried to use a regular gate to address this problem, I would end up gating the low end of my kick drum, making it a short sample, and it would lose its purpose and its power. If I tried to use an equalizer to cut the high frequencies, that would affect the whole sample, transient and decay, and that would make my kick drum sound dull, which could work on certain songs, but it's not the sound I'm going for. And honestly, a gate is kind of an extreme solution for me. So I first try to remove that undesired sound with a transient shaper. I tried the multi-band transient shaper that's also included in Neutron, reducing the sustain, but it wasn't effective enough. There was still some of that hi-hat layer, so it wasn't the right tool for this task. Now, the gate was the perfect solution. It was laser targeted, so the low end was preserved and the high frequencies were cut short. In about 20 seconds, messing with the controls, I achieved the kick drum sound that matches the vibe of the song. I didn't have to go out of my way looking for another sample, which would take more time since I had to adjust the low end and the duration and the tuning to make sure it didn't conflict with the bass. And this technique's not just for kick drums. You could use a multi-band gate to completely reshape the envelope of any sound with surgical precision. You can remove the attack or the sustain like I did of any specific frequency range while preserving the other frequencies, and that to me was worth sharing on this dedicated video. If you don't have a multi-band gate, you can get away with splitting your sample in two with equalizers in parallel, using low pass and high pass filters, creating a crossover and using a regular gate on the chain that has the problematic frequencies. That's basically what I think Neutron's doing, but it's a lot more convenient and fast and probably has a more precise crossover. Alright, now you know my secret approach on how to clean up specific frequencies out of samples with Izotope Neutron. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell if you want to learn more of these quick tips and tricks, and I hope you're excited to use this in your own mixing. Also, if you're interested in pop music production, let's hang out more often. Sound good? Here's a couple videos I think you'd like to watch next. They'll pop on your screen. Thanks for hanging out, I'm Thales, and we'll talk soon.